Yeah, there we are.
All right, sweet. Hey, everybody. We are live now. What's going on with you? Ant Pruitt here. Hope you're doing well. I'm unbelievable. It is Thursday, April the 2nd. April the 2nd.
Make sure you get the right year, Ant.
Yeah, I ain't even going to bother with that. Jeez. I know it's Thursday. That's all that matters, right? It's time for our weekly hangout on there with the smartphone photographers community. This is the community where we get together and discuss different tips and tricks to make you a much better smartphone photographer. Because I know y'all don't think your little camera phones can take nice pictures. Well, we're going to prove you wrong, and we do it every daggum week. And actually, we do it every day, to be honest with you. When we get together each week, we talk about the different tips and tricks, as I said, but we also discuss other things on our mind regarding smartphone photography, as well as our weekly photo challenge that we have. Each week, a community member that wins the previous challenge, they select what our next theme will be for the subsequent week. And tonight, we have two moderators joining us, and one of them happens to be the winner from last week, so he proposed the wonderful theme for the challenge. Let these guys introduce themselves, and I say wonderful sarcastically. Let these guys introduce themselves. We'll start with my man in Tejas again. What's up, Mr. Michael King? What's happening?
Not much. Doing pretty good. Just waiting for that slacker Porter to get his, what in here.
Jeez. Yeah,
slacker.
We're
Slacker.
Not going to speak about Mr. We know who he is, also known as the Batman, whatever he calls himself.
or Mr. 16:9 crop.
16:9 crop, correct. That is correct. Appreciate you joining in, my man. It's good to see you as always.
Oh, and yeah, just waiting for the rain to start tomorrow.
And next up, we got my man Mike, iPhoneography, MacGyver. Dang, what other nicknames you got?
Mr. Wonderful.
Woohoo! No, that's bull there. Bollocks.
You could call me Bright, as you can see.
Yeah, definitely. Jeez, man. Luminance.
Well, we got another name you can call him, but this is family oriented, so I'm not going to say it.
Yes, please and thank you. How you doing, Mr. Sweeney?
I'm doing well. Sitting here in my cave.
It's looking like Cube City.
It is, sir. we got an upgrade tonight, so as soon as I'm done here, I got to start work on that.
Awesome, good stuff in the wonderful world of IT.
And
he's showing up here, my man. I hope his mic is doing all right.
Is it working?
Yeah, that's better. This is Mr. Michael Portis of Black on the Mac. What's happening?
Hey,
Mr. Batman.
I'm not ready for spring break to start for the kids.
I'm already halfway in.
Dude,
we're done here.
I was going to say, didn't y'all already have it? I thought we were the only people that were behind.
We're halfway done.
Our first official day of spring break is Good Friday, and then we go.
Oh, so it's like us.
But during that time, the oldest turns 15, so there's lots of
drama
in our house. So.
Yeah.
So that's why you look a little shell-shocked.
Between that and WrestleMania and all of that fun stuff.
It's a little harder than I thought it would be.
Where are your photos from WrestleMania before we get started?
Oh boy, do I got some.
Uh-oh. Boy, look at that wicked grin.
We patiently await to see said photos.
Yep, let me
so we can rip them apart. You know that's how we do.
And we will do it.
That's what I signed up for.
Mm-hmm. You know it. All right. Well, hopefully I won't keep you guys too long tonight. I have a few things to take care of before about 4 a.m. And head and take a look at this week's challenge. Boy, sharing my screen is going to be really interesting this week.
Wow.
Let's see. On the screen when I did the screen share. And it would, look like Poltergeist or something. Not cool. Oh, jeez. Shut it. Smart aleck. All right. That's still not
it's
either.
Just begun.
No, it's still not working. Hold on. Let's try it this way. Because I don't want it to show everything. Let's see if it'll do just one tab.
No, you gotta break it. You gotta break out the window.
Yep, there we go. That's what I did. So we'll click that and we'll hit share.
Poof.
Poof.
All
And
right.
he smoked.
You guys see that okay?
Yeah.
Look at that. Sweet.
All right. This God, this sucks. I can't see you guys on the other screen, so I'm just talking to a blank screen.
That's all right. We'll make sure you stay straight and narrow.
Oh yeah, we're definitely. you know us.
Now, this week's challenge was themed lifestyle portrait. Lifestyle portrait. Mr. Sweeney, since this is your gig, tell us a little bit on what you were trying to propose in this thing.
Well, anybody can take a portrait. Anybody can take a selfie.
Mm-hmm.
But it gets a little more interesting when you say, I want a lifestyle portrait, because at that point you're expected to give a picture that literally tells a story about the person, either personally or the client. And you generally take a picture of something that means a lot to that person or to the family. It could be something they're holding. It could be something they're doing. It could be a place they're at. It's really whatever is important to that person. And it's really kind of open-ended. That's the beauty of the challenge. There wasn't any wrong portrait. It's entirely what your interpretation was.
Right.
And in the case of the picture I used for the header, that was my youngest, who was trying to be like me. She was taking pictures with a little point and shoot.
Yeah.
It turned out me taking a picture of her while she took a picture of me.
That's freaking awesome.
So, that's kind of what I had in mind.
I thought it was interesting. We didn't get as many submissions this week. That hurts my feelings a little bit.
Well,
but
when you say the word portrait, people kind of freeze up and go, "Oh my God, I got to take a picture of somebody, not something."
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. But it just, I don't know. I struggled with this a little bit after I got into it, and maybe I overthunk it a little bit. But I mean, but you said a lifestyle, and
absolutely.
When you look at a photo, you want to see a specific lifestyle. I don't care if it's just somebody that's fishing, or if it's somebody that's writing code, or somebody that just sits on a recliner all day. It's
whatever is important to that person, or whatever story you're trying to tell about that person.
All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these, and we'll break some of these down. Let me see. Let's start with this one here. Now, Jen R. First off,
I like this one.
Very, very talented photographer. I love this photo. From a lifestyle standpoint, I didn't know what to think. Is she a driver? Is she a caddy? Is she a passenger? I'm going to assume a driver based on this reflection.
Perhaps, but that's kind of the crux of why I couldn't vote for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the picture, but I'm not sure it fit.
Yeah. I love the shot, though, indeed. I don't know if there's anything I would have done differently as far as just the quality of the shot, but
no.
Just the story itself, though. That's
we would
the
have
problem.
done something different.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, but from a story standpoint, yeah.
No. I would have done something different in processing.
Yeah. Or what would you have done? Go ahead.
That bottom third. See how bright it is relative to everything else?
Mm-hmm.
That keeps trying to drag my eye down away from her eye.
Sorry. There we go.
And I love the fact she's got her eye above center.
Yeah.
And in focus. But that bright spot on the lower third keeps trying to drag my head down a little bit. So I might have put a vignette or something around to kind of darken that up and just kept the focus on the eye.
Just a tad.
Just a touch. Just a touch.
Okay.
But that's a nitpick.
All right. What do you think, Portis?
I really like this photo as a whole. It works for me because it makes me wonder what's going on, and I think that's the lifestyle she's trying to pursue, kind of like a little bit of mystery. And it definitely comes across. I love how striking her eye is in this photo.
Yep.
I mean, unlike where Mike's eye wants to go. I immediately lock eyes with her, and I'm moving my head trying to see if she's like peeking at me or trying to figure out what's going on.
Right.
So I think this is a great photo. On my monitor, again, I think it might be something that's going on with my computer. Again, a little grainy for me. In the green, just a little sharpening would be nice.
Yeah, it's a little grainy here.
But
that's some of the appeal of the picture, or at least to me it is.
Really?
Yeah.
That's right. Portis likes a 16 by 9,
but
Sweeney likes a lot of grain. Certain pictures, he likes the graininess.
He likes the graininess.
Interesting.
Well, that's what happens when you grew up shooting film.
Right.
Anything smaller than a grain of sand is fine.
Yeah. Okay.
But all in all, this is a really, really good photo. So yeah. There.
Okay. King.
I like it. It's I'm trying to, I kind of listened. I have to agree with what everybody's saying, because I can't figure out what the story she's trying to say. But it's just well done. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure it fits into the criteria of our challenge, but it's an overall pretty good picture. And unlike just like Portis, I don't look at that bottom that much. Yeah, I look at the eye and the face and everything. That bottom part doesn't bother me.
Why did my screen share go away? Lovely.
I don't know. Maybe the computer figured everybody want to see your lovely face.
Right. All right. Well, that was from Jen R. Let me close this down here.
She's always good.
Yeah, she's pretty talented. And let's look at this one here. This is from a newcomer. How do I say this name? Othniel Philippe.
I'll let you try.
Anybody want to try? Anybody want to try that name?
Brock. Give you a hint.
Well, Mr.
I'm not seeing any picture from you yet, so I'm kind of stuck. Nope.
Still nothing there.
I see that lady, the kid with her mouth open and look like she's yelling at somebody.
Yeah. You still don't see this one?
I got it.
Oh, it's just lag for you. Okay. All right. Well, we'll just say this is from OP. All right. This is from OP. What's going on here? Photo details. I don't see much. Lenovo. I don't even know what Lenovo sensors are in from a phone standpoint.
No kidding. Neither do I.
But this is it's a nice shot, but I don't quite know the lifestyle that I'm supposed to get from here. Alignment looks good. Framing looks good. I mean, you don't have a lot of things that are sort of tilted left or right or anything like that. I think it might be a little overexposed. I would have toned down the exposure just a hair. If possible.
You would have lost the detail of the little girl then, because she's in shadow.
Yes.
Okay.
And what this is Lenovo. They make a Windows 8 tablet.
Okay.
And that's what this is from. They do have a front and rear-facing camera on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. And I think it's full Windows 8, it's not RT.
Okay.
But this is a tablet.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Oh, that works then. That works for me.
It's about a iPad mini size.
Okay. Hadn't seen that. Well, that's a first. I appreciate her.
It's fairly new.
In here. Appreciate OP putting this in here. But let's go ahead and tear into this one. Go ahead, King. You got the floor.
I didn't vote for it because, again, I don't think this one definitely did not really fit the criteria of the challenge. It's not a bad picture. It's a little washed out, but I guess also you had to do that to have some stuff blown out because she is in a shady area, and I don't know how good some of these tablet cameras are not the greatest, but it's not bad.
Yeah, they're adequate.
Adequate, yeah, but it's just it did not really. As a shot, it's not bad, but it did not really float my boat for this challenge.
Okay. Portis?
I think there's a lot going on in this shot. Although the girl very clearly is the focus, and
Yeah.
she must be at some kind of playground or something like that.
The facial
Really
expression is
anything?
awesome. I give her that.
Looked like he's yelling at somebody.
Yeah.
Fierce. I mean, I don't want to be on the other end of whatever that girl is like.
Yes.
Yelling at
I'm not trying to be that person. I like what I like the most about this picture is the framing, the
Yeah.
use of the two bars, the use of the square around. I think this is really, really well thought out.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm gonna go Othinol is
Who?
what I'm gonna say.
Oh, okay. Othinol. Nice.
Othinol, because it's kind of spelled like Daniel, just a O-T-H
Uh-huh.
beginning.
Excellent.
That's what we're gonna go with.
Somebody's got some learning.
Yeah, I bet that this must be from. Something tells me he might be Filipino.
So yeah, somewhere
Right.
probably in the Philippines somewhere.
That's what it looks like. It looks like something like a little pagoda type deal. But
Yeah.
I have to agree with what Portis said. Everything, the framing is just outstanding.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
They nailed. If it was something else than what this was, I would have voted for it. But it just did not hit the target of the challenge. But it's an excellently framed picture.
Right. I mean, other than that, I think technically wise, the greenery in the background, I think some playing with the contrast and the brightness levels, just kind of tone it down a little bit, make those greens pop, the browns pop a little bit more. I think would have made it better. But I think this is an excellent. I think this is this the first? This person's fairly new. I think this is the first challenge submission he has, correct?
I think so.
I think this is a warning service for all of us, for somebody who's just possibly could just really kill us when it comes to framing, and how to set up one of these shots. I've never seen a shot that looks so candid, framed so incredibly well.
Well,
So,
with Nicole H in our group now,
yeah,
we're on our toes.
I think this is somebody we really. I think I see great things from this one. I'll just say it like that.
Yes, I agree. Sweeney?
I wish we could see what she's yelling at. I think that would make the picture right there. Perhaps my monitor's tilted, but when you straighten a picture, it's a balancing act. But when you have a strong horizontal line like you've got right behind her, that line needs to be level, and it's not. And it's just kind of bugging me. Now, with that said, I do like the framing that's talked about with the square and everything in between the posts. But I think if they had stepped to the right, camera right, and gotten more of what she's looking at and yelling at or trying to get attention of, it would have been a better lifestyle portrait. Right now, you've got a really great candid portrait, but I wouldn't call it lifestyle.
Right. Oh, wow. We got another Portis again. Or we got two ants or
We got
Portis?
two ants.
Two ants.
Okay. And I think one of them froze.
The king of bandwidth. There he is.
There you go.
Yeah, and now the other one is now frozen. Oh, there we go. He just dropped off.
They're still having issues out here with this line. They've dug up the place. I know that much. Anyway, I'm sorry about that, folks.
Mike, I tell you the other thing. Mike, look, if you look at it, if you put that picture back up again, if you can find it.
You're gonna freeze them up again?
Why not? What the hell? All right, if you look on the left-hand side, the lines are level. That might be what it does look a little tilted, but I think it might be the way the lens is on that on the camera. Because if you look at the posts and everything, it looks, and the horizontal line there looks straight. But you're right. One side is straight. The other side looks like it leans a little bit.
I've had some issues with the Nexus 6 in some particular shots, but then I figured it's probably evident in most phones, just because of the different curvature in the lens. Some things might bow just slightly if you don't line it up just right. But
sure, but this isn't a bow. This is a straight line. Mm-hmm. It's going from left to right up. Mm-hmm. In fact, you can see the floorboards doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
See, but right there it looks fairly straight.
But if you look at
you're assuming that top bar is straight in reality.
Mm-hmm. But I see that right here.
I would assume the floor is level.
Uh-huh.
Now, if you look at on the left-hand side, the post looks straight and that line looks straight, but on the other side, the post leans.
Yeah, this one leans. I see now.
I suspect if I were to drop this in Photoshop, what we would see is we have a case of barrel distortion.
Barrel distortion? Can you elaborate?
With a lens.
So it's an issue with a lens where things kind of push out from the center and distort around the edges, and it's kind of a curvature distortion.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is I'm looking at that post, and the post is not straight. It's got kind of a bend to it. The one on the right seems to have more of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And, I mean, it's barrel because barrel's round, so you're looking at a round distortion.
Okay. Makes sense.
That's pretty common on these small phones. I mean, they almost all do it, and they all have software to correct it.
That, and also you can kind of correct it in Lightroom by using the lens correction.
Yes, you can.
That'll take that distortion out.
I mean, the classic case of that was I've got a Canon G11, which was a semi-pro point and shoot.
I know the one you're talking about.
And when you shoot JPEGs, they look perfect. They look brilliant. When you shoot RAW, which is why I bought the stupid thing, it is just ugly because it's got barrel distortion up the wazoo. And what they've done is they've actually built in the software on their JPEG conversion to correct for the lens distortion. So the typical user, never sees it. But when I'm shooting RAW, because that's why I bought the camera, I end up having to spend all this time applying the profile to straighten out the distortion. Which is why I don't use that camera anymore.
Yeah, I've played with the lens correction in Lightroom just to see the differences that it makes, and sometimes it is a pretty drastic difference.
Sometimes not so much.
Other times it's subtle, and it's amazing, that you don't really see that. At least I'm not thinking to look for that, but then when I hit that correction, I'm like, oh crap, that was pretty bad. Yeah, that was pretty bad, dude.
And some cameras are more notorious about it than others.
Let's see here. All right, we're going to grab another shot here before we look at the top vote earner. Let's go with Miss Annette Holland here. Now,
that's just making me hungry.
Annette Holland, from what I know about her, she's one of the coolest geek chicks that I know, number one. But number two, as following her online and learning more about her, she is a straight up foodie. I mean, she loves her some good old food porn. If you watch her feed and social media, you will be starving all day long.
Well, she's also a big Firefly fan, so.
Yes, and Firefly fan. Exactly. And again, the whole interpretation thing comes into play with this shot here.
Yes, it does.
I get this. I know what it's all about. But if I pull one of the hardheads over here, what are they going to say? You know what I mean? Food. But what are y'all thoughts on this?
Again, this one, it looks like a portrait of food. That's basically what I'm getting out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And now, who's to say that if it's like a lifestyle? Who's to say he's not a chef and this is just his work?
I would say it fits the definition.
Mm-hmm.
Barely.
How so? How so?
Lifestyle.
Lifestyle.
You are taking.
Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Taking a
worked in the
picture
kitchen.
of her lifestyle, one of her lifestyle choices.
Yep.
And I mean, the fact that we don't know she's a foodie is somewhat immaterial. But
see, that's why I wanted to discuss that with you guys. Is the whole philosophy of it? Does it tell a story to everybody that she's a foodie, or does it tell a story to everybody that she's having a meal?
well, now see, that's where we hit that gray area. To me, it's telling me the story about what's on the plate, not about her, because there's no reference to her.
Right.
So,
Yeah, the story I'm getting.
Away with this one.
No, right, and I tell you, the story I'm kind of getting is this: the type of food she really likes the most.
Nice.
Which is look like fried chicken and mashed potatoes and carrots and I don't know what if that's still.
I don't think it's fried. It looks more like barbecue.
Barbecue chicken.
All I know is I see some good old fat grease running around there. I'm a happy man right there, dude. I'm a happy man. I see that. You got me. That's gravy right there, damn it.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
so you're not going to have the skinless, boneless chicken breast?
That would be no.
I see this.
No. I get my feel of that. Trust me.
Yeah. I see this, and it makes me miss the plates that I used to enjoy eating at.
I wish she had somehow included herself into this.
Yeah. But
somehow.
When I see this, it makes me miss the cafe that's in Spring that burnt down. Well, not burnt down. It burnt up this weekend. I used to eat there a lot, and that's some of the stuff that they had.
Annette, I did get shot. I'm not trying to gripe on you or anything like that. I just thought it brought up a good discussion point. But I love that food porn.
Well, he got a couple of votes on it, so
I love that food porn. All right, well, let's take a look at the top vote getter, which happens to be me somehow.
Red.
I think it's all by default because we didn't get enough submissions.
I think we're afraid not to vote for you.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
Well, it's really funny because that picture I posted of my laptop in the car.
Yeah.
I was trying really hard to figure out how to get a selfie shot put into that. Because
I know you know the life.
Yeah, I do. I was just trying to. I was working that angle. I just couldn't get it.
Yeah, I had fun with this one here. I got a tripod and I threw my phone on it and set it back over there
so
behind me.
So you have a gallon of milk on the floor?
That's not milk. That's water. That is my water. I carry that daggum jug of water around everywhere to make sure I get plenty of water in a day.
I've got my official Disneyland cup, thank you.
Oh, see, that ain't enough.
You refill it, dude.
Yeah, I know. But see that gallon right there? It goes the whole day.
On my desk, I keep my that I got from a certain Thurrott.com. His new coffee cup. Nice. And I keep water and stuff in it. But this is great. One thing I could not do is what you did, because if I did that and State Farm found out about it, I'd be looking for a new job.
Well, of course, that's the thing. Because this is during my regular working time. This is one morning as I'm doing work. As you see here on the left, this is my workstation. Right. Over here is my personal workstation where you got the camera laying down right there that I'm actually being filmed on right now, and the mixer,
soundboard,
microphone.
You're right. See what I'm getting at? We're not allowed to have pictures taken of us at the office. We're not allowed to do that.
No, I get that. That's security. That's security.
Right. So, but yeah, I just couldn't do it. Well, this is the first day I've felt like doing anything. I've been sick all week.
But yeah, I put this on the tripod, and my phone only has a 10-second countdown as far as a max.
So run and slam your butt down, huh?
Yeah, well, fortunately, Chateau Ghetto is not very big, so I hit the button. I literally walked around my recliner and I sat down and said, "Okay, let's See
Now,
what
see,
happens.
if you were Portis, you'd have your little Bluetooth clicker.
I thought about that. I thought about that. But
Doesn't your phone go? Can't you say like cheese or something like that, and it takes a picture?
No, that's the Samsungs.
Well,
There's not another app for Android that makes the other ones do that.
It probably is, but I don't want that crap on my phone.
Because you'll be doing stuff and you don't want to take a picture. You say, just like when you have your phone plugged in. Hey Siri. Oh,
yeah.
But see,
that is not fun.
What you need.
I know. I just woke up all my phones.
What's that?
You need this app.
Oh, what's that?
It's called VAP.
VAP.
VAPP.
And what does it do?
What it does is you can use some type of noisemaker.
Yeah.
I use this little cricket thing my kids used to play with, and it picks up a sharp noise. It could be anything, but it uses the microphone on the phone, and it will trigger the camera when it hears that noise.
Interesting. You
can set the levels of sensitivity.
You have to train it to that particular sound,
no.
Or it's just a sharp noise. Okay.
Just a sharp noise, which means you could be sitting here, hands out of sight, and you're going click, click, click with your cooker, and it'd be going take picture, take picture, take picture.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's
VAP. VAPP.
Interesting. Well, that would be something worth looking into.
Just like you could have had it right by your thumb, and while you're doing it, just hit the thumb, have your thumb hitting it, and you don't know what's going on. The picture, you wouldn't tell what you're doing, but you're just taking pictures.
Yeah.
Then you find the best picture you want.
Yeah.
Or just get your earbuds with a long extension cord on it, and you can use the audio switch.
I could never get that to work. I couldn't get that to work on my previous phones. I hated that well because I thought that was a pretty nice trick. But anything y'all would have done differently on this shot? I mean, I put it in. I want to say I put it in Polar first or Lightroom first, one of them, and then dropped it into Snapseed, and then put it back to the other editor, and then put it back into Snapseed to finish it.
The only thing I would have done a little different at is the space between the top of the dome and the top of the picture is a little tight.
Okay.
Visually speaking, it's a little cramped right there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like the fact you've got all your goodies out, and we really do get a good insight to who you are.
Nerd.
Yeah,
yes.
Pretty much. N-E-R-D.
Mike did hit it on. If you would have brought kind of have from your from the Chrome Dome.
Mm-hmm.
A little more space and kind of cut off some on the bottom. Not much, just enough to kind of even it out a little bit. It would have been a lot better. It was a good picture to begin with. It would have just been better.
I had a thought process with that crop. It's interesting y'all mentioned that because right above here there's another picture that I thought would have been distracting because it was like maybe a tenth of the picture frame that would have shown. So I wanted to cut that out, but then I was like, damn, that's going to still be a little bit too tight.
You just moved the picture then.
Yeah, that takes too much freaking effort. Come on, dude. Me moving a picture off a wall and then putting it back up.
Yeah, this is the same guy that won't get on his belly to take a low shot.
Yeah, you got that right.
Yeah.
I take a picture off the wall, it would have stayed off the wall, and y'all know it.
I don't think that, because all right, you already have a picture on one side, you got half of it. In fact, it might have balanced it out a little bit.
Oh, that picture is huge. So I knew that was just going to be stuck there because it's huge.
Right, but I was saying if you had the other picture in there, it would kind of balance it out a little bit.
Right. And then I thought about the water jug because the water jug
looks like a milk jug.
It actually gets cut off a little bit. Well, I mean,
that's all right. It's still part of you, and it's there in the picture.
Right.
So. But I have to admit, I like the TV tray for the printer.
Dude,
I thought I was the only one that did that.
Hey, dude, we call that life hacking here at Chateau Ghetto.
Okay.
Hacking.
Here's what I'm using for a printer table. It's over behind my clock. It's the box the printer came in.
There you go.
Works.
Whatever works.
And that's what, because it's a wireless printer, and I wanted to keep where I can get to it when I do work out of my place, and it sits over there right now. I got a bunch of other stuff sitting on it because it's both my printer, scanner, the whole 9 yards.
Portis, what are your thoughts on it?
I like the amount of grain in this photo. It's just enough. I think you did an excellent job of capturing who you are. I mean, clearly you're an IT professional. We won't say nerd because nerd is bullying.
Nerd is not bullying, to some people anyway.
No, I think the amount of processing, like jumping between apps, kind of shows. I think you use the best and most suitable apps that do better for what you were kind of adjusting, and it shows. Are you watching TV while you're working? Is that what?
Yes, that is Netflix, and I'm watching the IT Crowd.
Okay.
Love that show. You got to check that show out.
I will have to do that. But you know, it works. There's a lot of hardware in that photo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But,
well, yeah. As I said, if I can take a picture of my office with us, right on the main wall, we have a 60-inch backlit LED television that has Twit going all day.
There you go.
I suspect if we all took pictures like this, they'd all look pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Mine is it's a cluster.
Charlie Foxtrot. Portis Charlie Foxtrot.
Yeah.
Well, when I'm working, here is a 13-inch MacBook Pro. There's a 15-inch MacBook Pro. It's a brand new Mac Mini. In front of me is the Retina Mac Pro, MacBook Pro, and then right above, right.
This guy.
And,
he's the Apple Store. Good gosh, dude.
Then what I'm using for the base is the like I'm on right now is the iMac.
Lord,
the problem is I have this little hutch desk that is literally this big wide, and it's the shot. The shot is the consistent of my whole desk, and it's just is not working.
That's how my old desk was.
Oh, by the way, right next to where my mic is my Air.
But the problem with this office is there's no, unless I go back in this corner, there's no two-wall section because there's a window right here.
Oh, okay.
There's a window there, so I can't get a good wraparound desk. It's just I had to switch walls back over there.
Of course. All right. Well, I wanted to touch on showing the man some love. I wanted to touch on an article that was posted in the community by Tony Busco. It says, these are 20 of the world's best photos taken with cell phones. All right. Okay, so again, that's some opinionated headlines there, and this is on the Huffington Post. I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see it.
That's one issue.
It is.
Yes.
Oh man, it really hurt my feelings. All right, it did. And what sucks is I'm giving a little too much in it, but right before I saw this article, I was dealing with a colleague at the office, and they said something to me that I didn't appreciate, and I let them know I didn't appreciate it. So I was in a bad mood, before I even saw this.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, let me just read this. All right, top 20 in the world.
Add it to the misery.
Yeah, and I scroll down. you scroll down just barely, and it says first place, and you keep scrolling, and it says this is the first.
Oh my
place.
God!
Now see,
Two beach whales.
I saw that, and I didn't go any further.
Nope.
I was like, wait a minute. How? What is this? Sweeney, look, I know that you're going to give it to me straight, brother. I know you give it to me straight when it comes to critiquing these things. But I know you're also a man that's a professional and can see other artistic things in photographs that some of us might not see. So please tell me why this would justify being, quote unquote, number one in the top 20 in the world, please.
I can't.
Only thing I see is two orcas.
I can't. I mean, it's kind of awesome for like a street photography type
street
picture.
Photography, okay, cool. Yeah.
But
how is it even awesome as that?
Well, Because it really is. It really is reality. I mean, reality is not the uber trim Barbie bouncing along the beach.
It's true.
You know, Joe Average that's had a few too many beers, too much pasta, catching some rays, just kind of kicking it on the beach. All right, I get that, but not first place. I can think of any number of pictures taken with a smartphone of some kind.
There was
that would blow this away.
There was some down here that are better.
I know. I'm just saying this one.
But here's the root cause of the problem, or at least in my humble opinion.
Go ahead.
The root cause. This is the public voting. The average person in the public wouldn't know art if it hit him in the face.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but they don't.
Oh, man.
You're not average. The average person looks at, oh yeah, that's a great shot. That's a cool shot. Click. I like it. Move on. Yeah. Not a whole lot of thought goes into it.
The picture is so washed out. I mean, it's besides.
I don't know. Actually, it's not bad for shooting on the sand.
Out, Michael?
Pardon me?
Is it also washed out?
Okay.
Go ahead, King. Go ahead.
I'm not going to say it.
No, but I mean, again, you were saying that it's washed out, but again,
it's washed out.
I disagree with washed out. I mean, they shot on the beach and they actually did a pretty decent job getting the sand and the shadow.
Oh yeah. True.
I mean, technically speaking, that's a pretty good picture.
Instagram.
Say it
That's
again.
what it really does look like an Instagram photo.
Of course it is.
That's
art today.
I think it is Instagram
Mm-hmm.
preset that kind of creates this kind of look.
Kind of vintage retro.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what it does. The problem is that the sand matches the overall tone of the photo.
Yeah.
It kind of just makes it.
That's what I said. I've seen worse photos than this, but being first place, I tell you the one I think should be the first place. It's the showing the second place.
And see that right there.
To me, that's the first place one.
That is a cool shot.
That's a cool shot. You got reflections, you got the light, you got everything. Very cool.
You got it.
And here's
out there.
Yeah, and here's the big part. It's a train in the back there in the ground.
Yeah.
Of course.
But I'm curious, Ant, do they actually give the number of votes per image?
They do not. They do not.
That's a shame. I'd be curious what the difference is between the two images.
That to me is much better than the first place.
I mean, this one here is a nice shot. I'm not going to say it's first place, but that is a nice photo, especially coming from way up high like that angle.
I like that shot. It's better than the first. This one's not a bad shot. This one.
Colors.
This shot reminds me an awful like of National Geographic.
Yes.
It's got that same look and feel to it.
The tone, the warm tone to it, man.
And take a look at the diagonals.
Yep.
Guess what? The guy knows his composition. The guy could be a gal.
Right.
The photographer knows how to compose.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is a much better shot than first place.
That would be, to me, the train shot or the train station or this one. Those would be two top. I would have to toss a coin in the air and call it for first and second because they're both excellent shots.
I looked at it, man, and I was like, dude, that first place is one thing. Second off, I've looked in our community.
I like this one.
Every single day, and I've seen shots in our community alone that could knock these out of the park, if you ask me.
Probably.
And even Robin Nellis can do one.
And it just hurt my feelings. I was like, man,
So let me spin it another way for you, Ant.
Go ahead.
Are you willing to give up all rights to your picture to knock these things off their pinnacle? Because that's what happens. When you submit to these various contests like this, 9 times out of 10, you basically give up all rights to what they're going to do with that picture.
Right.
You get virtually no compensation, and you give up your rights.
Right.
I'm not doing it. I don't care how good my picture is compared to them.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Hold on a second. Wait.
I would say this, Sweeney. I would give them what I would call a throwaway picture that I think is nice enough, kind of thing. About like how I treat Instagram. Because the things that I put on Instagram, I know that they're gone. I know that they're not mine anymore.
And what if that picture ends up on a nationally distributed magazine cover?
Yeah.
And you get nothing out of it.
Well, no.
Yeah. other than image credit name.
I think that there's a different way to value these kind of interactions online. I agree. I think that a lot of people, when they post things online, they're not taking into the real understanding that you are giving away your work. You are saying that somebody else can use this as they see fit and never pay you a dime for it. Having said that, journalistically, these people are getting photo credit, which...
So what? That doesn't pay my bills.
Doesn't pay the
Right.
bills.
It could turn into... Because if you're like me, when I look at these people's photos, I Google... well, first and foremost, I'm a snoopy SOB. I Google everybody. To be honest with you. It's like the first I meet you, I Google you. That's going to happen. But these people are getting photo credits, and they could easily go on their whatever website they have, even their About Me's, and say, hey, you can look at my photo as seen here and as seen here.
Right. All right.
And
So let me...
There's a value in that.
Let me get on my little high horse about something here. I'm going to find my little soapbox, and I'm going to stand up on it and beat my chest.
Here goes.
It does. So one thing that's come out of a lot of these photo contests lately is these people, when they put the time, and you don't really know who's doing the photo contest. You truly don't.
Uh-huh.
When you give away your rights to this photo contest, you get photo credit. Great. You might get, some pissant little prize. Fine. But what's really happening is the people now own these pictures, and they now have stock that they can use as they feel fit for, and they got it for virtually nothing.
Yep, stock photography.
Which means the photographers that have actually been trying to make a living at stock photography have just lost completely and utterly.
Yes.
I agree with that, considering being in that little stock photography game myself. I totally feel that.
It's become a really interesting way for these folks to accumulate images that they can use at some later date and have paid very little for. So
it makes a ton of sense.
I'm not a fan, as you might have gathered.
It makes a ton of sense though, because the stock photography sites, there's a cost in there. There's a cost where doing something like this and basically getting them to accept the terms of services. It says, okay, these are mine now. It costs them right. It costs them nothing but time just to write up the toss and host it.
It's all boilerplate nowadays.
Oh, you definitely, most definitely.
And I think especially when it comes to terms of service, they purposely write them so long that nobody will read them.
Well, what's really interesting is if any of you guys have actually read my book, there's actually a chapter in there where I eviscerate CNN and their iReporter, because I did read their terms of service, and I highlighted the parts that are the most important to a photographer, and that is CNN comes out, says outright, we will not give you a nickel for these pictures, and we have the right to use them, and all 70 at that time, 70 of our prime properties and any subsidiary thereof, which numbers in the hundreds.
That's not
so
good.
your picture could be conceivably seen by 3 billion people on CNN, and you won't get a nickel out of it.
Nope.
Yeah, and not only your pictures, but if you use, I like the little little CNN thing inside iMovie. If you use that and send it to them, your video's gone.
It belongs to them.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, I don't even think you get video credit. It's CNN mobile reporter or some crap that.
That's just absolute crap.
Yeah, it's silly.
I mean, these are companies with deep enough pockets to at least make a token payment for what they're getting from the consumer, and they have figured out a way to basically screw the consumer and make the consumer happy. They've just been screwed because they got credit.
Yeah.
Well, credit doesn't pay the bills.
Yep.
No, you got a point. And whenever I put stuff up on Facebook, it's stuff that I know that's going looking at their terms of service, it's just going to be one that I just put up like some of my hog pictures. And they said, who's going to use those? Because I don't read you don't, unless you see Bob Levitas or something like that. Otherwise, the really good stuff I put on Flickr because I can watermark them, and they have you can't use the picture without permission and that kind of stuff. So I'm very cautious.
I don't even think watermarking is a serious deterrent anymore.
Doesn't matter. Watermarking doesn't mean jack as far as copyright.
Right.
The only time it comes into play is if you have a watermark and you can prove that the defendant has intentionally removed the watermark to try to obscure where they got the picture from.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as there's no mandatory reason to use a watermark. It's not part of the law. You don't have to use it. It's a convenience.
Yep.
Yeah. That's
and
true.
I just add, I'm not a lawyer. I don't play one on TV, so take it for what it's worth.
Right.
No doubt.
You're right. But
well, that was my rant of the week. I hate ending on a rant.
Oh no, I ranted too. So yeah.
Oh man,
I'll show you. And this is my picture. And this is my picture of the week. I haven't put it in the. I haven't shared it because I used it for my hog stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the gazebo out. That gazebo within a year will be going away as well as our building that we're in because they're going to tear it down and rebuild a brand new city hall for Bel Air.
Did you use Hydra?
No, that's one reason. One reason because I didn't use my camera phone.
You didn't use your camera phone? Aww.
Okay, yeah, that's why we're totally off your screen now.
But no, that
nice.
Totally off of the screen now. Jeez, dude. All right. I'm gonna allow you guys to tell everybody where we can find your work and so forth. So we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Question for you guys is I didn't hear anything on feedback standpoint for the videos last week. I'm gonna try to do that again tonight before I leave. Well, we have these hangout on air. I don't know how to say that in a plural standpoint, but but when I do the screen share for people that are viewing this thing, the screen share is pretty small, and I hate that because that's a highlight of these hangouts each week. To be able to see what our community has put together and share it with not only the people in this hangout, but share it with everybody that's watching. So I figured, if I can try to make those screen shares bigger at the least, I'll do that and make it worth the while for people to watch and see the little fine details of Sweeney saying he likes the grain and the green of that shot versus not liking the blown out section at the bottom. Little details like that make a difference if you can
they do.
See it, But be sure to leave your feedback on that. Let me know if it's worth my effort. What did you guys in the hangout? Did y'all see any of it? What did y'all think? Oh God, he's raising his hand. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. You have the floor, sir. You have the floor.
I'm not sure I can screen share this. Let me see here.
Okay.
Oh crap. There we go.
Not here draws flies.
Yeah. Where are you? There you are. We should discuss that.
Definitely. Actually, let me pull it on my screen because I can zoom mine.
All right. Let's
do that.
I'll kill it then.
You still there? Okay, I thought I ejected you by accident. All right. Screen share. I will pull this tab
just
out.
about slipped my mind.
And
mine.
Share.
Mine.
Where'd it
What
go?
mine?
There it is. All right, you guys see the screen?
Oh yeah.
Maybe. Come on, you can do it.
Come on, you son of. Yeah, come on, wrong one.
There we go. All right, so let me zoom in. Go ahead, proceed, Mr. Sweeney.
All right. So, based on the conversation that we were having online a little bit about clouds and saving your files to clouds and all this good stuff. It got me kind of curious, and I started to geek out on Saturday morning before I went to Palm Springs. I need to geek out some more on this, but this is where I'm at so far. What I was doing is I was taking a picture, just a random picture off my iPhone, and I was saving it to the computer. I'd save it to Dropbox. I saved it to OneDrive, and I didn't have a chance to save it to Google Drive. And I started running hashes against it and comparing file sizes to see what would happen. It was really kind of scary what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Grabbing the picture off the phone and right to my PC, not such a big deal. Dropbox, it does something with the file. I think I think what happens is it changes the file size because it does a rename using the metadata.
Mm-hmm.
OneDrive loses about 30K somewhere. I mean, it doesn't sound like much, but that's 30K of data that just magically disappears somewhere into the ether. It's gone. And while they changed the name, I mean, Dropbox changes the name, but doesn't lose that much. So why is OneDrive losing 30K? And what I really want to do is start running some, a little more a methodical test against it. But I have a nasty feeling that when OneDrive saves the file, they are literally recompressing that file slightly.
All right. Sweeney, I think it's the same theory as like what was that? Remember that movie Office Space, where you take
I love Office Space.
Take a half of a cent and siphon it off. Nobody's gonna notice that little.
You got real money.
Yeah, so maybe that's the thing, because they're still storing this on their servers. That's still space.
Yeah, but that 30K on a JPEG that's already been compressed 2/3.
That's a lot.
Can be significant.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And when you're using the cloud to archive your images, that's the last thing you want to have happen.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's one thing to put the pictures up and say, yeah, I'm just going to stream them, I'm going to share them, and they go away in 30 days like, iCloud used to do, or even Dropbox with Carousel, wants to show pictures. It's a show and tell thing. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to use a cloud to archive your pictures, you really need to do your homework and run a few tests and make sure that whoever you're using isn't recompressing your pictures that you don't know about. OneDrive used to be really bad about it.
Yeah.
And they claim they've stopped doing it, but obviously they're still doing something.
Wow.
So now we got to figure out exactly what they're doing.
Sweeney.
Yes, sir.
I use Google Drive.
Yeah.
And I store like I want to share for my desktop photos.
Sure.
And I put up. They're pretty much at full resolution. I don't put a TIFF or anything like that. I just put a regular JPEG, but I do have a couple of TIFFs I put up there, and they're pretty much full resolution.
Like I said, I think I'm going to spend some time doing some more testing on this, because I haven't seen anybody do that type of testing yet. Not that I'm able to find really quickly in Google.
I've had one experience with Google, and it was actually fairly recently. It was one of the shots for the challenges, and I put it up there, and it did its thing, and I come over here to the computer to goof off or whatever, and I said, well, let me see how this thing looks inside of the challenge layout and whatnot. And I was like, man, that is not what I took. It's like, I know that shot looked better than that. And I want to say I even commented and said, you know what, this is not what I did. Yeah. Yeah. But then I come back a few minutes later, and it was magically there. It looked right then.
That's scary.
So I was like, oh.
I think what it was, it just takes them a while to filter to cache it and get it all in there, especially if it's a pretty good sized file. But I'm looking at some of mine on Google Drive. Now this is just Google Drive. I'm not. I know my auto backup goes up there, and I even just compared some of those
mm-hmm.
From the iPhone. They are the exact same size, but I know iCloud kind of messes around with the sizes a little bit. They shrink them a little bit.
Interesting.
Not much. No, say if it's 18.5 megabytes, they would probably cut it down to 18.3.
I still
Well,
want.
I think it behooves you to find out exactly what they're doing.
Right.
I mean, and if you're using raw files or TIFFs, it's not so bad. You don't lose data. But if you've already got a file that's been compressed like JPEG and compressed heavily, which the smartphones tend to do, 18K, even 2K can make or break a picture.
Yes. Because now so far I've noticed on, as I said, I've looked, what I've gone up to my Google Drive, I look at the file size, and they're identical. But again, it's just for storage. Now, I have noticed the same thing.
On those two platforms, don't they just show whole sizes? They don't get down to the kilobyte, the bits and the bytes, which is what.
Well, some of them do go down to kilobytes.
Yeah, some do.
Well, I'm looking through the Finder, and I can click on the file. It shows me the file size of all the pictures I got in there, and they show the exact, the correct size. So,
but and this is I think going to lead into, much like the camera apps. A camera app is not a camera app is not a camera app because they all use different ways to compress the JPEG. And I've got a feeling that each one of these vendors have got their own way to squeeze a little bit out.
All right. Have to. What you got there on your screen, Mr. Portis?
This is one unedited shot from WrestleMania.
Sweet.
One unedited shot from WrestleMania.
That's pretty good for unedited.
Yeah.
I took this with my iPhone 5S.
In low light.
What I'm looking at is I also took pictures with another device called the HTC Re.
Yep. The Recam.
More to come about the HTC Re.
All right.
I love that little camera. The videos from it especially are absolutely amazing, and now I can't find the WrestleMania 31 folder that I just made.
They compressed it.
I just literally made a WrestleMania 31.
The NSA hasn't gotten their copy yet, so
yeah, it's like hold on, we need ours.
When you put in a bunch of photos from your iPhone, the iPhone does not do that very well. I use Camera Plus for my photos, and it doesn't play well when you want to send, like on my iPhone I took 375 photos.
Yeah,
that's not too many.
Not too many. But we also used a 16 gigabyte chip, a 4 gigabyte chip, dent in the 128 gigabyte chip that I also took with me.
Dude,
we took photos and videos, and that's just on the equipment I took.
Right.
My son he emptied his iPhone before he left, and he has no space free on his.
Wow.
Used, I think she said
that's funny.
3 of her gigs of her phone also for photos. But,
well, dadgummit, if you're going to go to an event, you're going to take some photos, brother, obviously.
So you guys can understand where we sat on my screen. Let me click on that.
It's like a YouTube video.
You see this guy right here?
Yep.
We are next to him.
Seriously? Wow.
We got less than 30 rows from the ring.
Awesome, dude.
So we
Jeez.
There were much better seats than we anticipated them being.
Jeez.
Which is frustrating.
Nice.
Where's this Google, no. Where do you move people's albums once they?
Right. No, I need to put another comment here as kind of a warning to people. So a little experiment that was done this week with Amazon, since they've announced, the free free unlimited space.
Yep.
I managed to saturate a DS3 uploading images to Amazon.
Whoa.
That was 45 megabits sustained.
Really, dude?
So anyone that's using this, you might want to do it when the people aren't trying to stream Netflix at home,
Oh yeah.
And you might not want to do it at the office without telling your IT guy.
Yeah, you're gonna
just in case there's a problem, let me know.
Yeah, they're gonna come slap you around.
Okay.
Why is this bottleneck happening all the time?
That's right. Who is sucking up all our bandwidth?
Now, this is I found the thing. This is one of the photos taken with the.
That's a nice one. Hey, make your screen full screen, Portis. Your window's not full screen.
Like that.
Oh damn. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm just gonna have to edit that. It's small.
Yeah, edit into it. But this is a shot with the in photo mode.
Yeah.
Before it was the calm before the storm, because they opened the gates at 1:30, and so we went in and you're able to walk down to the ring and things like that.
That's pretty sweet.
But yeah, they were very gracious with as much as they let me walk around. This is if anybody watches wrestling, this is the table where Michael Cole and the King sit. Right here.
Nice.
So
okay.
Yeah, look for more photos. I'm trying to distinguish whether some of these are taken with the and again some of these are taken with my iPhone. But that is no, good God, I hate that. This is our spot. This is just in the air. The only thing I can say in advance when it comes to taking, there's no zoom on the damn thing.
Right.
Which, if there was zoom on this thing, and I'll get into it with my review as to why I think there's no zoom on it. This thing would be killer. This is a device I think if you have one, you're gonna love it. If you don't have it, you're not gonna get it. But this is look for the review. I really enjoyed shooting with this little dinky thing. And
it takes some good pictures.
Oh, it does, yeah.
It's not bad.
16 megapixel camera. I mean, and that dinky little thing, and so it's
not bad. I didn't think it was for me because I got to play with it during CES this year because again, I was over there for help covering HTC and their extravaganza or whatever they called it, and I played around with it and it's nice. I didn't think it was for me, and I really didn't think it was for me because of the pricing on it, but again, you're going to get into the details of that in your review. I won't say anything.
Details of that, yeah. But yeah, it's something. I'm glad we got one in. I got it in on Friday just before WrestleMania, so I really didn't have.
Wow.
I knew it was coming. I was not expecting it to come before WrestleMania, so I was happy that we had it, and so yeah, look for a review.
Nice. All right, well let's wrap this puppy up.
Yes,
We're
sir.
gonna let you guys give you your sign off and let everybody know where they can find your wonderful smartphone photographs or other photography or other just musings that you may have. Let's go back to my man in Tejas. Mr. King, where did they find you?
I can be found on everything, including Flickr, at Michael King 4023, and that's where I do most of my picture uploads, except for what I want to, the smartphone stuff, which I do only one place exclusively. I send my my iPhone pictures. That's to our group. No one else gets them.
All right, appreciate that. Appreciate you hanging out, brother.
Anytime, I enjoy it.
You get the feeling better.
Sorry, but I'm kind of back and forth. My medication's kind of kicked in, and it's kind of made my stomach a little upset.
Yeah, you get the feeling better, homie.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Mr. Portis.
You can find me anywhere at A Black on a Mac, your favorite social network. Yeah, that's about it. It's traveling time, so there's a fair and festival. Look for me at it, starting next week.
So you're gonna come down here to the Oktoberfest? Sorry, Renaissance Festival?
Maybe. There's some talks of me going out of state, other than just Nevada. So.
Because that Renaissance, they got some. If you like food, they got some fabulous food.
Yeah, they usually are pretty good there.
This one in Magnolia Their food is most is the
Yeah.
Okay.
You go to the Scottish Highlands here, and you can have haggis. Be a real man.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I don't know if I want to touch that just yet, dude.
Well, this year's hot one, literally hot one, is deep fried jalapenos with cheese inside it.
Well, that's good stuff.
That
That's
actually
living.
sounds pretty good.
Yeah, that's living. Mr. Portis, we thank you as always, even though you showed up late.
It's a pleasure to have me. Pleasure to be here too.
Nah, no worries. Appreciate it, brother.
Slacker.
Lastly, Mr. Mike Sweeney.
You guys have got me thinking about, deep fried bacon on a stick now.
Yeah, buddy. Done that too.
Oh yeah. You can find me a couple places. You can find me at my photography site, which is msmedia.me. I've got a new tech blog that I'm starting up, and I need to actually write some more for it, called GeekStop. You can find that at msmediaplus.com.
Yep.
And kind of hang out there. And that's the other side of the world I live in. And you might find a few photography things there if they're geeky enough, but it's primarily the geeky world I inhabit. You can find me on Twitter, Light and Images. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me almost any social media, including the Instagram folks. You will not find me on CNN iReporter. Just saying that up front,
Shots fired, folks. Shots fired.
Full broadside.
Wow. Thanks for coming out, my man. Appreciate it as always.
Always fun.
All right. And lastly, myself. Find me here on Google Plus, of course, where this hangout is. And you can also find me on Twitter with the handle of Ant_Pruitt. I have a YouTube channel. I have a column. The easiest thing to do is just go to google.com, put in Ant Pruitt, and it would surprise you all of the stuff that pops up. Some things might be safe for work, some might not be safe for work. But if you see a large angry black man, that would be me.
With a gallon jug next to him. Yeah.
With a gallon jug next to him. That
one hand and
he says, he says it's water, but there's a lot of things that are clear.
Yeah. I am in the South, brother. I am in the South.
Yeah, he has a big gallon jug in one hand and deep fried butter on the other.
Man.
Loving life. But yeah, find me there on my different social networks, and also be sure to check out the community's website at smartphone-photographers.com. The rerun of this hangout will be published there, as well as the audio feed for people that like to listen to it on the go or just listen to it in the background while they get their geek out or work on. And check out amazingphonephotos.com. I've enjoyed sharing the shots that have been sent in to me, or people that allowed me to poach them and publish them on the site. It's been some really nice ones. Today's shot was it was from an iPhone 6 Plus, and it's just two perfect strangers passing by each other off in the distance, but it's in black and white, and it is well freaking done. Framing, just the way they did the vignetting, it's well freaking done. But it's a lot more on there. Just go to amazingphonephotos.com, click enter, and just watch the gallery scroll by. You'll be stuck in a little time sink. Be sure to click like and subscribe on this video to share it to other people in your social media and let everybody know about the community. If you're interested in joining our smartphone photographers community, just look us up and click on that request an invite button. Now the community will say Smartphone Photographers Community hosted by Ant Pruitt. I had to put that in there because there's like 50 other smartphone photographers communities. But you click that and say request an invite, and either myself or any of these mods here tonight, they will go and look at your Google profile and see what you're all about and make sure you're someone that'll actually fit in here. We don't do the looky-loos. We don't do the spammers. We don't do the people that just share selfies. Give us some knowledge base and some tips and tricks, and and you can even come in here and critique some people. That's how other people learn, and that's how people can get better. Thank y'all for the continued support. I will try to get this thing edited and published tonight because I won't be able to do it anytime after that. Hope everyone enjoys their weekend and their holiday. Check us out next Thursday at about the same time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do the math for your own time zone because I will not. And we'll see y'all on the next one. Y'all take care. Peace out.
Bye.